The next thing that I'm going to get into with you is with regards to creating these kind of reports for commissions type reports against this information that you're looking at. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the plus sign over here in the bottom left-hand corner. And instead of creating a dashboard, now I'm going to go ahead and create a report. So I click on Report. Again, it's going to ask me for a template to choose. This time I'm just going to choose the blank. And I'm going to click on OK. Now, I have my plus sign here. Because I've selected blank, it's going to say, well, what do you want? Well, if I click on the plus sign, this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a crosstab report. So I click on crosstab, very similar to your rows and your columns and your measures. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my source. So again, I'm going to select that package that I've created for SAP Business One. I click on it and I say open. So now that I'm looking at the information, what you're seeing right now is I can go into my hierarchies right now and I can look and see the information in a very different manner. So I can see information with regards to dates, where I can have my hierarchy there. And if I open it up, I can see what's going on between my different dates. I can look at that. I have my Q1, my Q2, and my Q3 as an example. I have my information with regards to salespeople. I have my information with regards to items. So again, I have different ways of looking at the information, and I can pick and choose the information that I want to look at. So what I'm going to do right now with regards to this, I'm going to bring in some information as it relates to the salespersons. So I'm going to take my salespeople that are right over here, and I'm going to bring that right into my rows. And I see that information, and I'm going to change my mode from design mode to preview mode. So this way I can actually see the information. So now that I've got that information there, I'm going to bring in some additional measures. So what I want to be able to bring in regards to measures, I'm going to now go to my measures area where I have my sales credits, and I'm going to bring in net sales. I'm going to bring in some information with regards to gross profit. And I'm also going to bring in the information as it relates to commissions. I'm going to take that information and I'm going to drag and drop it right onto the canvas. And it's going to tell me, this is my information that I have with my 83 million, my 27 million of gross profit, with my 407,000 of commission. I have my salespeople here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a few other measures. So the one thing that I want is I want my gross profit. I'm going to click on my net sales. And I'm going to, by clicking on those in that order, I'm now going to be able to insert a calculation. So I'm going to say, I want to see % gross profit on net sales. I take that, and there's that calculation. I can take this measure that's right over here and just move it across so it's in a different area. And I can do the exact same thing with regards to commissions over net sales, do that calculation as well. And notice how it's intuitive enough to know which measures I've selected and what my different options are in regards to calculations. And I'm going to go ahead and do commissions on net sales. I go ahead and take that information and I bring it right to the end to be able to look at that information. Now that I have this information, I have the ability to look at this at different levels of detail. So I can now drill down on the salesperson. And you can see now I'm seeing all that information by salesperson. I have the ability now to look at this however I want. So what I can do is I can sort things. I can sort things by percentage. I can sort this by commission dollars. I can do whatever I want here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the commission field as an example and just say, I want to do now a sort in descending mode. By doing that, the salesperson that generated the most commissions is showing up at the top. Now, I can see that Jacques D accounted for the largest portion of that commissions. So what I can do now is I want to focus just on Jacques D. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill down on Jacques D. And now it's just focusing on Jacques D. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my customers where I have over here. And I'm going to go ahead and take one of them and just bring that in and just nest it right over here. So what happens is I can see that I've got that there, and I'm going to go ahead and drill down. And as you can see right now, I can drill down on that information and see things for all my reps that are looking at this information. Now, again, I'm looking at this information, for different customers, for Jacques D, and I have the ability right now to say, I'm looking at this information. I say, oh, you know what? I'm looking at Lumen. I want to see more information on that. So what I can do is I can go in here and I can go ahead and drill down directly on Lumen. And again, it's going to give me all of the information for Lumen as it relates to their sales, their gross profit, and their commission. So the information that you're looking at right now can be looked at in any capacity that you want. So if you want to look at it by salesperson, you want to look at it by item, you want to be able to filter it for a specific period of time, you have that capability of being able to do that at whatever level of granularity that you want. That's what we're looking at from the perspective of working and interacting with reports.